Tignay. Welcome to my page. Welcome to my channel my page, because this video will be going to my page on Facebook as well. Okay, I've introduced myself. I'm like, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're watching me from. It's your baby girl here again, Faith. Okay, now today I'm just briefly gonna be talking about um when I was in Ireland. I think, yeah, I made a video on how I left Nigeria, how I went to Sydney, how I won cruise. Anyway, that's Sydney. I'm still gonna touch on it. It's gonna be another full video of its own. Okay, its own. Okay. I'm gonna leave that aside. But when I was in Ireland, when I got to Ireland, I was actually pregnant. I was 7 months pregnant when I left UK. Okay, from Nigeria to UK to Ireland. Now I was in Ireland, I was pregnant, and they decided, the social worker, I was actually referred by the community head nurse, who think I need assistance, and it wasn't her feed, it was the social workers I was referred to. Now, no, I don't know how things work. I was new in the country, so community head nurse referred me to social worker, and the social worker, she was good. She was good. So she assessed me. You know, by then I didn't know all this thing. So she would come every week, once or twice every week, to ask me questions. It could be the same question over and over again, just to establish how I will manage my daughter when she comes. When I give birth to my daughter, she'll question me, how are you going to manage, how are you going to cope, how are you going to take care of this child, how are you going to take this child from point A to point B, how are you going to do it? So I need to illustrate. I mean, now it's not just talking, it's practical. She's gonna bring some things. I should illustrate to her. In the end, after all the assessment, she now say to me, okay, I am gonna be moving you, because I was in the refugee camp then in Cork City. Because when I came to Ireland, like I said, my aunt and stepchildren took me, because that was the aim, to a refugee camp, after staying with them for about 2 days, and taken to refugee, to the justice, uh, yeah, Department of Justice in Dublin. So I went there, I seek asylum. They move us to a hotel, Viking Lodge in Dublin. From Viking Lodge, after I think we spent about a week or two there. From Viking Lodge, we were actually moved to where they brought us to. And some people have idea of where they want to be. They already have information, so they wrote a letter. They ask their GP to write a letter, just to say, oh, I'm too heavily pregnant, I'm too heavy to travel. So some of them stay back in Cork, even though they got the letter to, they stay back in Dublin. So I was actually among those ones who were innocent, who doesn't have any information. So we were transported down to Cork City. So I was in Cork City, and believe me, where I was in Cork City, the same name is where I live now. The same name. So it's weird. So Cork City, the town, the name of the town in Cork, where I came from in Ireland, is the same town here. The same name. It's so weird, but okay, that's for another day. So I was moved to Cork. I was there and so we're in North Key. North Key was the host refugee camp. So there, and then I was referred. Like I said, the social worker now decided to move me to a different place. So the place I was moved to is an Irish mother baby home. That's what they call it now. And in Black Rock. Now that place, you can Google it. It has so many bad memories. You know, Besborough Hostel. So the aim of that place is a move parent mothers there who haven't decided yet what to do. They're pregnant, unexpected pregnancy, whatever. Now me, I didn't fall in that shoe, but the reason that I was moved there because I'm from a different country and being physically challenged, and I have no family with me. No, the father of my baby, my ex, was back in Nigeria. Our plan didn't go to the way we planned it. We planned that when I got to UK, he would join me and then we moved to Ireland. But it didn't work that way. He was denied visa. Now I was alone doing this on my own. I left my family in UK. I went to Ireland, and even though they didn't give him visa, I was meant to stay with my family in UK. But because I hate depending on people, I didn't want to be a liability to my family. I didn't want them to be the one to finance everything because I was illegal. I couldn't work like them. They were going to work. They were the one paying the bills. So I was illegal, so I couldn't. The thought of waking up, I already was asking them for cream, clothes, to do my hair, and I was dreading when my child comes. Now they'll be buying Pampers and clothes for my baby. That would not happen. There was no way I was going to accept that life because back home in Nigeria, I was working. I was a program athlete. Program athlete mean you get paid. You're doing sports and you get paid. So I was a program athlete, so I get paid every month. Apart from that, I I was working before then. I was working in Project Charity Love. It's a charitable organization. It was in Sakmumba Road now, if I can still remember. So me and my friend, they're gonna be watching this video on Facebook, so they will know what I'm talking about if I'm lying or not. So I used to weave basket weaving. So I did basket weaving, those plastic weaving, not the cane one, no, the plastic one for shopping in Nigeria. So I was doing basket weaving. So I learned that. It's a long story in Salvation Me, and then I was now working for a charity of Preston Musi. I was working for this charity organization. So we produce baskets and market it. So my friends will be watching this and they will remember. So yeah, then working there I get paid, and then I was a program athlete in stadium. So I mean in Edo State, so I get paid as an athlete, as a sports girl, whatever. Then so yeah. So when I left Nigeria, now I'm in Ireland. I'm in this place. I was moved actually before I got to baseball. Before I was moved to baseball from the refugee camp, because I came when I was 7 months. So the social worker said, as soon as you give birth, I'm going to move you to another hostel. That's what she said. So when I went to excuse me, I went to hospital. I had my daughter October, and after that I was in hospital. I had complications. I had complication. Okay, let's not go there deep. I was in hospital for a month. A month. So you don't want to imagine all I went through. I went through a lot being on my own. I went through a lot to the point. Okay, let's leave that. So, and I remember leaving hospital by, is it November ending? So I was even there over a month there. I remember. So November ending, I was taken to this Bessborough hostel where I was. So I didn't know. I don't know their, anything. She didn't tell me you're gonna be assessed if you can't take care of your child. Your child might be taken away from you. I think I should have been told. So all I was told is we're taking you to this hostel where you get help. People will assist you to take care of your child. A girl was excited, you know, but it was a different story entirely. To God be the glory. My child wasn't taken away from me. That's to the glory of God. I was taken to this hostel. When I got there, the story I was told wasn't what I got there. So all I could say is, take me back. Take me back. And this is not a bargain. This is not what you promised me. You said when you bring me here, they're going to be assisting me. Now they're not. They want to frustrate me to the point where I'll say, I can't do it, and then give up my child for you. And I say to them, worst come to worst, the one thing I know, I will never shout. I never shout at them because they don't like shouting, and that's one thing we Africa do. We shout. We shout. So me, I'm very emotional. So I will say what I want to say, and I'm crying, and I say to them, I will always say to them, the worst come to worst, I will take my luggages and go back to Nigeria. Book me, give me traveler's check. I want to go. I'm taking my child and I'm going. I will not give you my child. So it wasn't just because I said. They see, they could see that I was a good mother. I was taking good care of my child. In the end, I didn't know it was towards the end. I realized that place I was, there's a whole lot of negative story around it. And for me, there was a lot of things, about Best Boy. I think it was God. It wasn't just my effort. So I was there for about 11 months, and then I'm just cutting the story short because there were a lot that happened. So if I want to narrate it, I'm gonna come back and make another video about my life in Bezra. So it's another story. That's why I said I have lots of stories, things to talk about, and I'm going to be talking about my life on this page or on my YouTube channel. So, in Bedsboro, my stay in Bedsboro was tough. It was challenging, but in the end, I'm I was able to walk out of Bedsboro without losing my children to you know to them. And I mean them taking my daughter from me because of if I wasn't able, because I was there for assessment. So yeah, 246, you've been watched. You're not allowed to lock. It's a hostel. So the difference is a mother hostel for mothers. You know. So it's not just all mothers who they think, teenagers who on an unexpected pregnancy or whatever. So for me, because like I said again, I was the reasons why they took me there was because I was an immigrant who had a physical disability. Not just because of that, I had no family with me. I was on my own. So they think I should be with a family, to support me, which was right. So that's why Europe abroad, their system work. They have the system that work. Okay, so for me, I'm not gonna be talking about um they wrong or no. That what they did was perfect because they know I was on my own. If it wasn't for the help that they render me, I don't know. Okay, so they assessed me and they know I had no family with me. I'm on my own. I needed that assistance. Okay, and they prioritize that child, that baby before me. So yeah, as I was living in Bessboro, I came to realize, wow, the reason I was there was for them to see if I can actually take proper care of the child. If I couldn't, they would go to court and get, you know, whatever, a warrant or whatever, the permission to take the child from me and put her in a foster care, in a home, in a better home. Okay, but in the end, after the 11 months assessment, me being in the hostel, because there are staff who work there. They come in the morning, different staff, and they watch everything that you do. So they put it down. When your social worker come, they give them the report. Your social worker, my social worker always, oh Faith, oh they're pleased with you. The staff here, they are singing your praise that you're doing well with your daughter. Oh my God, they're impressed, and they never expect that you could do it. You could take care of your child. Like that, they're impressed. They're impressed. There are things that they think they should be doing for you, and you're doing it by yourself. Wow, they're pleased with you. But the one thing I know for sure when she took me there was she never told me that I would be watched. People are going to be watching me, that I'm under assessment. I think she could have said to me, Faith, you are under assessment. If you couldn't take care of the child, government might intervene and take the child to a better home where the child will get a proper care if you can manage your child. She didn't tell me. I got to find that out myself. As as the day go by, as I live in Bessboro, that I found out myself that this was the reason they brought me to Bessboro. So, but I mean, I had time when they tried to frustrate my effort. It wasn't my social worker, it was other staff. There were some nice staff there, and my social worker warned me. The only thing she warned me was, you the first black person. I'm gonna warn you, Faith. You're the first black person these people have dealt with. They remember, immigrants are new in this country, in Ireland. So you're the first black they're working with in this hostel. So it might not be easy, but I just want to tell you that you're gonna come across racism and other stuff, which I did there. It might not be intentional. Some of them really, I mean most of them, because the only staff there, even I think best my social worker probably have come across immigrant because she's a social worker. She came across me anyway. So the staff there, it was just one staff, is because she had traveled outside Ireland with her husband. So I don't want to mention their name, but there was one old one, because she was a nun when that place was set up. That place, it's gonna be another story about that place. So later, when things changed, she was no longer a nun, but she was still working there. So she's the only were with the sister Sato, the one in charge of the whole Besbro. So and this staff, she still have that commanding, bossy attitude in her. There's nothing like please with her. She's just gonna tell you to do it because those days they that's what they do, and those mothers, they actually make them to do the label, or do a lot of stuff like cleaning and doing, just so many things. But she still have that. So when people are not there, there was a day there was no other staff around. It was just me and her. The way sometimes they're short of staff. So she was the only staff around then on that day, but other staff are coming to join in the evening, and she'll go. In the afternoon, she was the only one around us, and she actually walk up to me and whisper to my ear and say, "Give it up, Faith." I give it up, Faith. She whispered to my ear, and it dawned on me that she's saying, "Give it up. Stop struggling to hold on to this child. You cannot do it." And the next day, or a few days later, my social worker came around, and I said to her, I said, "This is what Agnes said to me." She literally whispered to my ear. And I said to her, "I will never give up my child. I will never tell you that I cannot do it. Whatever it takes, I will do. If worst comes to worst, I will go to my country." With that word, I was always saying that when I'm upset, when anything happened in baseball, and anyone upset me, or we have an alteration, I will say, "Look," I'll say to my social worker, "I've had enough. Please just give me TC. I want to go back to my country." So on one fateful day, she said to me, "Look, Faith, I know you always say this to me. You want to go back to your country. You want to go back to your country. The truth is, if we think that this child life is in danger, we don't mind, as an Irish citizen, flying the whole plane to your country and pick her up." She said that to me. My own child. I mean, I carry her for 9 months. As an African mother, I was here in the country. She was saying this to me. I was mad when she said that to me. "You didn't give birth to this child." I did. So, and I said to her, and I said, "Every time you come around, or you send your student social worker around, all you people say to me, or other stuff is, 'Oh, this,' and then they're always calling my daughter's name. 'Oh, how is she? How is she? How is she? How is she?' I said, 'What about me, the mother? Am I invisible? I mean, if I'm not happy, I cannot make this child happy. You need to satisfy me first.' I mean, all this I'm saying, you can't raise your voice at them, because the reason is not because you're scared of them. You need to understand that when you start, we African, our voice is loud. So that's one thing I realized in the earlier stage, that, well, for me, I'm not that loud. My voice is low, so I think that helped me a lot with them. So, and really, when things actually change, when they come, they can say, "Hi, Faith, how are you? What do you want?" And then, yeah, when they finish with me, then they can talk about my child. But it was tough. It was not easy at all. There's so many times they try to frustrate me. Sometimes the things they promise that they're gonna be doing for me, before you know it, they change. And I always say, I can adjust. I'm an African woman, whatever. What else? 1 minute, "Oh, Faith, don't worry. We're doing your laundry for you." Before you know it, "Oh, you do your laundry yourself." Before you know it, "Oh, Faith, don't wash the dish, and leave the dishes. We'll do it." And before you know it, "Oh, Faith, come and be washing the dishes." I'm like, thank God. Me, I can do all this thing, in my country. Thank God my mom raised me up to be strong. My mom will always say, "Nothing happened to your hand. It's only your legs." So when they are bringing all these things to me, I'm like, bring it on. Bring it on. So yeah, That's how I survived. Best after 11 months, they now say to me, we think you can take care of your child now. We think you're capable. All they did was to give me the necessary, you know, um, things that I need. Like after I came back from hospital, they gave me the wheelchair because the thing, me walking with my crutches is going to endanger my daughter's life. I'm going to fall down. I'm going to drop my child. They didn't want me to drop my child. So, when I came from hospital, they gave me, a box, buy me, just buy me things like a sling as well. Like my social worker actually did a good job. She listened to me a lot. She listened. She was good. She was good. I'm gonna give her credit for that. She was good. So she listened to me a lot, and you know, whatever I say to her, she got me a sling. I used the sling to carry my child until she was a year plus. Even though that sling was meant to be 12 months, but I used it over a year. And in this, I don't think I can insert the picture, her baby picture when I was like, just to show how I used to manage her when she was a baby on the chair. How I used to go out after because she was not too big for this thing. Anyway, guys, I'm just going out of line here. Anyway, all I wanted to talk about is um after I got to Ireland, after having my baby, and how, yeah. So I'm gonna stop now, and another time I probably talk about my life in Bessborough. Yeah, because I didn't spend too much time in the refugee camp. Probably was there 2 months or 3 months in refugee camp. So the rest I was in Bessborough. After 7 months in Bessborough, no, 11 months. After 11 months in Bessborough, the reason it was meant to be 6 months, but it was difficult for me to find a disabled, you know, accessible house for me as a wheelchair user. So it took my social worker a long time to get me a proper house. This is not just like I was searching as well. So I was searching, she was searching, because I needed to leave the hostel. The hostel normally only accommodate you for 6 months. After they've assessed you that you're capable, you can take care of your child, they will ask you to leave the hostel and set you up in your own apartment in your house. So now they were looking for a house for me, which we did in the end. I remember when they found me my first house, Ishigila. I will never forget Ishigila. Ishigila is a village in Ireland. I mean village. Then there was another village inside Ishigila. When they took me to that village, I mean, there was just animal, a cow behind me. There was no houses. You have to travel 20 minutes before you can see a human existing. So where I was living, I was meant to live at, there was no human existing. It was just cow behind the house. The house landlord was a farmer, and the guy just have one eye. I'm sorry, that's freaked me out. The reason is it's not just because it was the look, and straight away there was this thought in my head. He has a spare key. I mean, in middle of nowhere, he could do anything to me. Wow! And when she showed me this house, it was dirty and everything, and she said, "Oh, we're gonna clean it up. We're gonna put carpet, furnitures," and I said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." Like I said, when you say something to me, I might not give you an answer straight away. I might not think about it straight away. I will go, take me a while. I'm a deep thinker. I will go away and give it a think. I will just think about it. And then, so as we're driving home, I was actually thinking, trying to see myself living in that apartment, in that place, in Ishigula. How am I going to be assessing just me and my daughter? I'm a single mother. Wow. And I said to when I got to the hostel, when I got back to Bessborough, and she left, I burst in tears. I started crying. I was crying uncontrollable. Nobody could, they were all saying, "Oh, Faith, what's wrong with you? What's going on? What's happening?" And I couldn't. And no. I said to them, "I cannot live in Ishigila. There's no way I can live in Ishigila." "Why didn't you say this to Derevla when she was here?" I said, the thought of living in Ishigila. Imagine waking up in the morning and all my daughter will hear is the moan of the cow, moo. So that my daughter first word would be moo. I said, no, I need to live close to a human being. I am not living, in my mind, Nigeria, I don't live for this kind of place. And I cried myself. And so they said, it's okay. Nobody's going to force you out of this place. We're going to wait until we find you the place that you will like. We'll tell Darabla that you don't like this place. The Ishigila is a no-no. Yeah, that's what happened in the end. No, I didn't go to Ishigila. I wasn't going to live in Ishigila. Yeah, but thanks to God, I know, glory to God, in the end, all things work out for good. I got a good house. Well, not really, but I got a house and I left Bessborough. I was different. So I'm gonna leave you right now. Thank you for watching this, and thank you for giving me, for watching up to this time. And I appreciate your coming and watching me to this time. Thank you so much, and I really appreciate you coming. And please subscribe, share. Please subscribe to my channel, Life on Wheels, Faith TV, and that's on YouTube. On Facebook is Life on Wheels. Okay, please don't forget to click your notification button in case when I upload a video, you'll be the first to be notified. So I'll see you until I come your way again. It's your baby girl, Faith. So take care and God bless.